What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, unfortunately, we got some unfortunate news for undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, who currently is the WBO welterweight world champion and is widely considered by many to be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford has been trying to secure a mega showdown for the better part of 6 years against 8-division world champion, legendary iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pacquiao. With that said, Manny Pacquiao and his team have now stated that the money that the investment group was supposed to have and looking to put up to stage this fight outside the United States in Saudi Arabia never came to fruition. They never saw the offer. The money never came to fruition. They never held up their end of the bargain. And so the fight and the negotiations are completely off. And Manny Pacquiao is now focused on 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer MIKEY Garcia. With that said, obviously, they were looking to stage a showdown June 5th, okay, between Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. So the investment group from Abu Dhabi, they never was able to, come up with the money. And so due to the fact that they were never able to show proof of funds, come up with the money, the fight has been sunk. So now Terence Crawford once again is left without an opponent. And that June 5th date was seemingly going to be off the table anyway, seeing as though that's the same day that undefeated, unified, lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, he will be taking on George Kambosos Jr., his IBF undefeated Australian star boxer challenger. And not to mention legendary Hall of Fame, former pound-for-pound king, former pay-per-view king, will be making his ring return, the retired 50-0 TBE, the man known as Money, Floyd Money Mayweather. He will be making his exhibition ring return against Logan Paul as well on Showtime pay-per-view June 5th. So with that said, here's what's being reported. The proposed Manny Pacquiao-Terence Crawford welterweight title fight pegged for June 5th appears to all but be done after the funding from Abu Dhabi investors never came through. Crawford at long last would have finally landed an elite opponent. Now the wait continues. So, like I said, this has been made mention since the better part of 2014, 2015. You want to be realistic about Terence Crawford possibly facing off against Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao, according to legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter who promoted Terence Crawford as well as Manny Pacquiao, Bob Arum, he initially stated that Manny Pacquiao was pricing himself out. He was looking to receive $20 to $25 million, which they weren't willing to put up for a Manny Pacquiao-Terence Crawford fight because they don't believe they'll get a return on the investment. At least Bob Arum does not believe he'll get a return on his investment. So with that stated, Manny Pacquiao, he ended up exiting Top Rank and heading over to the PBC, the rival, Premier Boxing Champions, with founder and advisor Al Heyman. And Manny Pacquiao, he got the money he was looking for. And Bob Arum, he admitted it. He confirmed it. He stated against Adrian Broner and against Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao got the $20 to $25 million he was looking for. But Bob Arum says he was just happy he wasn't accountable for having to fit the bill because it only did 400 to 500,000 pay-per-views, so they didn't get a return on the investment. Okay, so with that said, Manny Pacquiao, according to Bob Arum, he told everybody that the investment group from Abu Dhabi, they were willing to put up $50 million that was on the table, and Manny Pacquiao, he then changed his number from 20 to 25 to 40 million, in which Terence Crawford, he was okay with that, taking $10 million. But now that investment group, they disappeared, and now it seems like Manny Pacquiao is on the verge of fighting 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer MIKEY Garcia, which it sort of makes sense now because I guess Manny Pacquiao, he was focused on a fight with Terence Crawford because if he would initially showed his interest in fighting MIKEY Garcia from the beginning, he would not have been stripped of the WBA title he won from beating former unified WBC, WBA welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman back in July of 2019. So if Manny Pacquiao would have showed interest, see the WBA, they removed Manny Pacquiao as the champion, and they put him in champion in recess, essentially removing him as the champion. But they did so due to inactivity, and they cited that Manny Pacquiao wasn't looking to compete with somebody in the top 10 ranking system of the WBA. Well, Mikey Garcia is number 4 in the WBA ranking system, so, you know, it would have been a unification bout. Now there's also talks that a possibility of Errol Spence being Manny Pacquiao's next fight, that he may be interested in taking the Errol Spence fight. Manny Pacquiao, I believe at this point in time, is just looking for the biggest cash out fight he could possibly have, you know, because Manny Pacquiao is running for Senate, he's a Senate in the Philippines, and he's running for president. So he needs to, fund his campaign, okay? And so Manny Pacquiao, I believe, is looking for the biggest cash out fight at this point in time. He was looking to face off against UFC superstar, legendary, iconic fighter in Conor McGregor, okay? Which would equal a big payday for Manny Pacquiao. And then Manny Pacquiao stated he was looking to face off against undefeated lightweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia. Okay, there was reports of that. Now he was linked to this fight with Terence Crawford because it seemed like big money was on the table. So it looks like Manny Pacquiao is going to go wherever the big money is currently so that he can fund his own campaign to run for president in the Philippines. So now that this investment group from Abu Dhabi is not able to, show proof of funds, they didn't come through. Now this fight is over. Now Manny Pacquiao is going to look for the next big fight. So am I surprised to hear Manny Pacquiao now shifting his interest to Errol Spence? No, I'm not surprised at all. I don't believe that'll come to fruition because I believe that Errol Spence is on a mission. Errol Spence, undefeated, unified WBC, IBF, welterweight, world champion, superstar boxer. He's heading into a showdown with a WBA super champion who was elevated when Manny Pacquiao was stripped of the WBA title. Yordenis Ugas was the regular champion. So the Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas is the WBA super champion now. And Errol Spence seems to be headed into a showdown with him with 3 belts on the line. The WBA, the WBC, and the IBF, okay? Obviously, the super fight in the sport of boxing is Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. With that said, now Terence Crawford, is he going to turn his attention to the fight that people wanted to see anyway, and that's himself versus his WBO #1 mandatory challenger and 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Shawn Porter? That's the fight the fans was calling for from the beginning anyway. They wanted to see it. They believe competitive-wise that's the best fight that Terence Crawford can make. Most people feel like Terence Crawford would be a huge odds-on favorite to beat Manny Pacquiao because Terence Crawford is younger. Terence Crawford, 33 years old. Manny Pacquiao is, Manny Pacquiao's 42 years of age. Terence Crawford is 33 years of age. Terence Crawford is undefeated, 37 wins, no losses, 28 wins by way of knockout. Stands at 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Manny Pacquiao is 42 years of age. He has been knocked out 3 times in his career, lost multiple times. He is, stands at 5'6" with a 5'5", 5'6" with a 67-inch arm reach. Okay, and he's inactive. The last time we saw him in the ring was 2 years ago when he beat Keith Thurman. 2019, we're in 2020. Okay, July 2019. The last time we saw Manny Pacquiao in the ring, and now we're heading into the summertime again in 2021, and he's yet to grace the square circle, and we don't even have a date for his return. So most people would peg Terence Crawford as a huge odds-on favorite. You even had, major quote-unquote networks. They stated that they were, concerned that Manny Pacquiao could possibly get hurt in a fight with Terence Crawford. That's not the same sentiments that they utter with Shawn Porter. Now, obviously, Terence Crawford will still be the favorite in that fight because Shawn Porter has lost, the biggest fights of his career against Kell Brook, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman. But Sean Porter has beat some very, very good fighters and some former world champions in his own right. And Sean Porter is going to test you every second of every minute of every round. And everybody wants to see Terence Crawford coming up in weight, how he's going to deal with a guy like Sean Porter and the style of Sean Porter, what adjustments he's going to make. So now we're going to have to see Terence Crawford, move forward and see how this plays out. But now Manny Pacquiao's off the table. What's next for Terence Crawford? But make sure y'all hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.